Jeffrey is a low value man. He doesn't make enough money, he's not happy, he doesn't have a good body. He sees strong, successful men broadcasting their lives to the public and he just doesn't know where to start. Adonis seemingly has everything a man could want. The aesthetics, the success, the attraction from women, the respect from men, and yet Adonis keeps on working. He doesn't even think he's close to being done yet. He knows that life is one long game of progress. He sees Jeffrey struggling with his life and feels a great sadness. So many young men are like Jeffrey. They want to grow up and become successful and move out of their hometowns into the cities of wealth, but they've been raised without father figures. Adonis sits Jeffrey down and tells him about self-improvement and discipline. I'm just a guy in a bathrobe and yet I've somewhat infiltrated the high-value men around the world. I've stayed over at Iman Gaji's place, I've been around Mike Thurston's place. I sit around like millionaires, and I don't say this to brag. You know, there's the term, the wolf in sheep's clothing. I feel like the sheep in wolf's clothing. It's not so much that I have imposter syndrome. It's not like, oh yeah, I shouldn't be here, but it's more like 2 years ago, I was on government welfare. My income from the government was £300 a month. I was a full-grown adult and my income that I was getting for free from the government in the UK was £300 a month whilst I was trying to build things up myself. Fast forward 2 years, my company's now set up in Dubai. It's not uncommon for me to go out for like dinner, you know, there's a group chat or whatever, we all go out to dinner. There's a new person there who's very successful who makes £50,000 per month or more. There's people there talking about their net worth and, you know, all these big words, bro. I think the reason why I'm here is because of the plan that I put myself on a few years ago. That plan came exactly true, and so I'm gonna walk you through the exact same plan. And if you're willing to sacrifice, if you're willing to put in the work, I believe you can get to a significantly better life in all areas and become that stereotypical high value man. When you think of high value man, that term is, you know, it's rising in popularity. You think of men who are successful, in shape, confident, good with women, they live in like, you know, some nice city apartment and everything, right? I think you can achieve that in a few years, but with one caveat. You have to be willing to sacrifice that dopamine that you get from the 1 hour of video games per week, that you're sure that you only play 1 hour per week when objectively it's more like 6. If you're from the UK, then you've got to be willing to sacrifice those binge drinking nights with your friends. You've got to be willing to sacrifice a lot of things, and a lot of people aren't. There's a quote from Andrew Tate that I like, which is, the #1 thing that you can do as a man is just get your life in order. Just be the strongest, most honorable, best version of yourself. So here is the plan, the steps of becoming a high value man, increasing your SMV and creating that kind of life that you do see in, you know, some of the influencers you may follow. Step 1 is to build up the foundation. Now you probably thought we were going to talk about money and getting girls and stuff. Those things can be nice, but we need to have the right foundation to begin with. And I wouldn't spend time in this video, you know, like viewer retention's dropping every second. Like I wouldn't spend time in this video if this wasn't 10 out of 10 important. You need to have a solid base foundation that comes only from your mind. Most men's minds are so weak, so self-deprecating, that they can't hope to achieve any level of good success. You can't hope to even get a promotion in the next few years. You can't hope that that business that you're trying right now that you haven't really made progress in, you're not going to do anything with this. You can't hope to stay on this diet or to be disciplined. You know why? Because your mind may be weak. And how do you know if your mind is weak? Well, if you've never actually tried to really improve your mind, it probably is weak, isn't it? Just like the guy who's never been to the gym before, he doesn't need to test his strength. If you've never trained your strength before, then you know that you're probably weak. Most men have never trained their minds before. And yet this is probably your greatest ally. This is your greatest asset. You could have a Bugatti, you could have a Lamborghini, all of this like fancy stuff. But the thing is, your greatest asset will always be your mind. So you want to know what step 1 of this entire process of becoming a high value man is. Improve your mental health and become disciplined. I have a full mental health guide on my channel. I highly recommend, even though it's not clickbait and it's not as sexy and, you know, let's just talk about money and girls and stuff. Trust me when I say, if you don't go through a period of improving your mental health first and becoming mentally strong, you will not hope to achieve any of this. And you know what's kind of nice? You'll keep watching my videos like a Jeffrey for years and years and years. You'll keep watching my videos because they give you a sense of satisfaction and productivity, which is nice for me because I'm making money, and yet I'm disappointed because you come here to actually learn and improve. But if you don't start with your mind first, you will get absolutely nowhere, and you deserve to get nowhere. I can't tell you enough to heed this advice. You must start with your mind. You've tried to do the real world thing so far. You've tried to go to the gym, you've tried to study harder, and you've always struggled with those because your mind is weak. Go watch the full mental health guide. It's completely for free. The second part of the plan is fitness. It's time to bring up your physical physical body, your physical strength, your physical fitness, and your physique. The reason why this is number 2 before everything else we're gonna talk about, girls and money and stuff, because you can do this for free. Sometimes you don't need to spend any money, but let's say a gym membership is $30 a month, $40 a month, and that's one of the greatest investments you'll ever make in your life. You can do this as a young man who's got nothing else going for him. If you just get consistent into the gym, doing some kind of resistance training that will build muscle, your life will change significantly. You can be a guy who wants to go for a career, or a guy who wants to keep studying for another 10 years, or a guy who wants to build a business, or even a guy who doesn't even mind being broke. Any personality, any kind of career field, anything like this. Either way, building some more muscle and being at a low body fat percentage is going to do wonders for your life, your confidence, the respect that you get from men, the attraction that you get from women. Building an aesthetic body, which is one that has a fairly good amount of muscle mass, but then it's also lean enough that you have this like V taper in your upper body, is scientifically proven to be one of the most important things when it comes to actually looking good and to attract women. Your body, your fitness, and your physique may be the second greatest asset that you'll ever have in your entire life, second only to your strong mind. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you're probably around this stage where you've started to, do some of the mental health practices, you've been maybe meditating and journaling, and you've been going to the gym, so you've already seen like such a good progress in your life. Every time I see one of the boys and they're like, whoa, you Hamza, we start speaking about self-improvement, and I always ask the same question. I say, okay, what is the biggest win that you've had so far since you've been watching the videos? And it's always about fitness. That's like the thing that just makes young men so proud of themselves. Because if we think about the opposite side of this, having a weak, flabby, skinny, fat physique, as much as all these, the soft people of the world who think that we're evil, misogynist type of guys, as much as they all say fat positivity, bro, there's nothing positive about being fat. When I was skinny fat, I felt horrible. Every young man that I speak to who tells me, look, here's a progress picture, I lost 20 kilograms. They always say that they felt horrible listening to the conventional advice that you should love yourself at every size. Nope. If you're a masculine man, no. This may be one of the first times you've heard this. If you're a masculine man, you're not supposed to love yourself if you've been lazy. You're actually supposed to feel incredibly negative about it. This modern world, this weak modern world, all of the weak people around you, they want you to smile as you eat another donut and say, yeah, well, I love myself at every size. But they don't understand that you simply can't. That those times when you've looked in the mirror and you're disappointed by what you look like because you know you haven't been disciplined enough, you can't just delude yourself into positive thinking and think, yeah, well, actually, I'm really sexy. And you remember fat positivity and you've got to love yourself every self-care day. No. If you're trying to become more and more masculine, understand this. You will only feel happy about yourself. You will only feel loving towards yourself if you know that you've been putting in that work. Your amount of self-love is totally equal to the amount of good work that you've put onto yourself. Never slack, especially with your physique, because that is a physical indicator. The thing is, you cannot check your grades, in school. You could maybe not go check your business and, oh, it's the weekend, so you're not in your workplace, fine, but your physique is always visible. Every single time you go to the bathroom, you are hit with this level of accountability. Like, remember all those choices that you made in the last 6 to 12 months with your diet, your training? Well, here you are. No excuses, no other circumstances. The choices that you made in the last 6 to 12 months, maybe a little bit longer, here you are. So if you don't see a strong, chiseled looking man in the mirror, you messed up somewhere. And if this hurts your feelings, good. It's about time someone did hurt your feelings in this very soft, politically correct world. You wanna know how I got here? How I got consistent? How I surprisingly got consistent in building my physique? Because I was genuinely a really lazy kid. It was when my friends body shamed me. It was when one day we're in the locker rooms and they come up to me as if they've all had like a talk between themselves. Hamza, we've decided that you're the most fat one out of all of us. Now that's embarrassing. Imagine your friends come over. We've decided that you're the most fat one out of all of us. I wasn't a really nice person at this time. So I pointed to the other fat kid. I was like, no, he's fat. And then me look at him like, I'm just like being defensive and stuff. And I swear, still objectively, bro, the other kid was fatter, but it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings. Of course it did. But what do you think I did when I got home? You think I was still gonna go for that packet of crisps or the chocolate bar when I got home after I'd just been body shamed by my friends? No. Bro, I want you to body shame me. If you see a picture of me out of shape, like let's say updated, let's say I've been slacking for some reason, right? If you see a picture of me and I've gained body fat percentage and I don't even look like I'm very muscular, bro, please body shame me. I would be so grateful if you did that to me. Because at least for me, it's been so entirely valuable and life-changing. Because sometimes you need that harsh slap of reality. The second and incredibly important part of becoming a high-value man is your aesthetic body. It's building a body like those Greek gods, those marble sculptures, which just look so chiseled. Literally, just look at those pictures of those, like, they've got like those Greek god mythology and everything, and they literally look like so lean, so chiseled, aesthetic V-tape. I want you to imagine if you genuinely had a physique like that you literally woke up up and your skin was tight against your muscles, that you were genuinely around 10 to 12% body fat. You know, sometimes you see, you know, if you're a younger guy and you've been on like TikTok or something, you see like that TikTok boy guy who he's not like incredibly muscular, he's not like some big bodybuilder, but he's got a pretty good level of muscle mass and he's really lean enough that that looks incredibly attractive. And straight away, no matter what you think about, you know, TikTok boys or anything, the thing is you can't help but to respect a guy who actually looks like he's like chiseled. Decent amount of muscle mass and then lean. Building your physique is something that you should start as soon as possible and something that you should imagine that you're still going to be doing 50 years from now. It's a lifelong journey. Then we get to the third part of the plan, which is how you're going to make money. So you're currently studying in school, or maybe you're in a career, or maybe you're developing a business. Either way, whatever avenue you want to choose to make money, this is the point now where we start to put some more mental effort into the money and finances part of our life. And specifically, I'm not talking about trying to, you know, save up $1,000 this year or anything cute like that. At this young age, 100% of your mind when it comes to money is only about increasing your income. Don't let any of these scammers, you know, these financial gurus fool you when they tell you about saving money is the best route to wealth and index funds and all this investing in. No. There's only one real way to make a good amount of money. And it's so common sense that it's gonna seem silly that I'm saying it. Well, to make a good amount of money, you have to make more money. No one became a millionaire by saving money, or if they did, they're like 60 years old. What was the point? He's been penny pinching, not tipping the waitress, not taking his woman out on dates and stuff because they want to save $7. Come on, man. That kind of lifestyle's always bothered me, and this advice I've seen online, because the reason why, you know, all these financial gurus will tell you, yeah, saving money's so important, guys, is because it really